Well, hello and welcome to Uncommon Knowledge for Seniors. I'm your host, Jim Moran, a realtor and banking executive with over 35 years of experience. This podcast is your go-to resource for navigating the complex world of real estate and senior living transitions. Each week, we'll dive into topics and resources that matter the most to you, from retirement communities, real estate planning, reverse mortgages, trust, memory care, elder abuse, and more. And whether you're a senior, a family member, caregiver, or a real estate professional, we're here to provide you with the most valuable insights and practical, trustworthy advice from some of the best experts in the business. Thank you for joining us, and let's get started.
Well, hello, and welcome to another session of Uncommon Knowledge for Seniors. Today we have Cathy Lang. She's the Director of Resources and Nutrition, and I think just about everything else in terms of what happens with the Meals on Wheels here in Bend, Oregon. It is such a remarkable organization. And Cathy, can you tell us how you got started in this thing?
Sure, Jim. It's lovely to be here. Thanks for having me today. I have spent most of my career feeding large groups of people mostly for the first part of my career for for-profit organizations. And I ran convention centers and large restaurants and multiple units and hotels, and it was great fun, but I really wanted to do something more, give back to the community, take care of the folks around me. So I was lucky enough to get a job at the High Desert Museum running their food programs there, which was amazing. And when I was done there, I wanted to stay in the nonprofit world, and I found a very part-time job working for the Council on Aging and Meals on Wheels here in Bend, Oregon. And I started out very part-time and just loved it and enjoy the work so much that now it is a very full-time job. And that's how I got to where I am today.
That's awesome. Can you, in a nutshell, kind of explain the program? If someone didn't know anything about it, how would you describe what it is and how it works?
So our Meals on Wheels program, our primary focus is to feed folks in need who, for whatever reason, cannot leave their home or aren't able to cook for themselves and feed themselves. We serve a clientele that's for folks 60 and greater. So that's one of the things you need to be is greater than 60 to be involved in our programming. And that's the focus of what we do, although we do many, many more things.
So how many people do you serve? I was stunned at that number.
So we served last year in 2023, we served over 136,000 meals in Central Oregon. And at any one time, we have over 500 clients on the program.
Wow. And that's from Madras to Lapine, pretty much. Is that?
Yeah, well, we serve all of Central Oregon, Madras, Lapine. We go south of Lapine to South County. Some of those folks are very isolated and very much in the need of our programming and our support. We go to Prineville. We've got a very robust program in Redmond and in Sisters as well.
Wow. That's just amazing. So it's basically one meal, right? Served between 10 and 2. Is that kind of the...
That's correct. We serve up to 5 meals a week. And we do have some special programming where we are allowed to serve more. But it's so much more than just the meal that we serve. That's our primary focus. But we also battle isolationism. So many of our folks that we serve, our guests that we serve on Meals on Wheels, the Meals on Wheels driver might be the only person that they see all day long. So we provide a meal, but we also provide a smile and some friendship and some companionship. And there's also a safety aspect there too, which is we check and make sure that they're safe in their home and that they haven't fallen or something hasn't happened to them in the last 24 hours. So we also take care of them that way as well.
So where's the food come from?
So the food, we have a production kitchen here in Bend where a large amount of our food is produced here. We have a wonderful chef and sous chef, and we buy all of the food from, we try to stay as local as possible, and but we buy much of the food from, big food service distributors. We're also very lucky to have some great partners in the community, like Seed to Table, who all summer long for the past couple of years donates any extra vegetables they have to our programming. So that way we can serve some really cool, really fresh vegetables to our guests.
So how do you qualify to be a recipient?
So to be on Meals on Wheels, the first thing you want to do, if you or somebody you know wants to be on Meals on Wheels, give us a call at Council on Aging, and we will get you started down the road to signing up for Meals on Wheels. It's a needs-based program, so it's not based necessarily on finances. It's based on whether you can leave the home, whether you can cook a meal on your own or not. So don't let it deter you. If you think you're not qualified for whatever reason, please reach out to us. And as something else we do for folks too is if we can't help you on our program for whatever reason you're not qualifying, we can recommend other and refer you to other programming where you may be able to get some help.
Okay, so it's the fact that it's need-based. Obviously, is there a fee involved, or would there ever be one, or does that come into play, or is it?
There is no fee to our guests. It's all free of charge. We do ask for folks who are able to donate to us because our funding source, we are partially federally funded, but it is nowhere near the amount of money to what that it costs to make someone a meal and drive it all the way to their home and have a volunteer a trained volunteer speak with them and take care of them and give them their meal. So we are always in need of extra donations. We have a wonderful grant writing department that works very, very hard to write grants so that we can keep operating at full capacity.
So personal donations, corporate donations, that kind of thing, obviously is what makes the wheels turn, I guess.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Wow.
Like I said, we do let our clients and our guests know that we do accept donations, but if we try not to depend too heavily on them, if they're already asking us for help, we don't want to be a burden to them. We're here to support them and make their lives easier and better. So outside donations are a huge help and assistance to us.
So it's 7 days a week?
Well, we deliver 5 days a week. I would love to be able to deliver 7 days a week, but that's a financial issue and capacity. And right now, 5 days a week is what we are able to do.
I'm still stunned at the numbers, at the number of people that you guys serve. It's just really, really something. Are there any misconceptions out there of the program that you have come across yeah, just
Yeah,
the wrong idea or whatever, that kind of thing?
There are some misconceptions. There are people who think that we just serve Bend only instead of all of Central Oregon. And our reach is wide and far, and we get out into some very lonely places. And it's important to know that we serve a lot of people. It's also a misconception that Meals on Wheels is all we do. So I mentioned the food and the isolationism. We also can refer people to other services within Council on Aging. Like we have a wonderful program called Caring Connections, where we can have a volunteer who wants to be a friend with somebody who needs a friend, who will call our Meals on Wheels client and get to know them and they build wonderful friendships and take them out to lunch and give this, and both the volunteer and the caring connections person seem to gain so much out of that relationship. So we do that. We also have a Pet Pals program. It's really interesting. One thing that we've heard and know to be true is that if people are in need of food and they have a pet, quite often they will feed their pet before they feed them. And we know of instances of our Meals on Wheels recipients who would feed half their meal to their pet and then eat the other half themselves. So through our Pet Pals program, we provide food for animals that live with our Meals on Wheels guests. And yeah,
That's
and then
great.
yeah, not only does the client get to keep their whole meal, but then they also get to keep their best friend, which, like I said, uh, other than the Meals on Wheels driver, they might be their pet might be their family, might be their only family and the only warm body that they see all day other than the Meals on Wheels driver. So I think a big misconception is that all we do is Meals on Wheels when there's so much more. And that's just sort of the tip of the iceberg, the programs that I just mentioned. We do information and referral. We have counseling. We help people do their taxes. The list goes on and on.
So you train your volunteers to do that. Is that your position too, to train volunteers and have them be ready to go with those kinds of things and being able to
In my
do some of
position,
these things?
I'm mostly in charge of the nutrition department. So I train the volunteers to know how to talk intelligently to the Meals on Wheels guests, and then we pass it off to a different department. So if they were interested in, if the volunteer noticed that they got 5 dogs running around in the backyard, then we would refer them to our Pet Pals program. And so, yeah, it's falls under my umbrella to make sure that the volunteers all know, one, how to talk kindly and lovingly to everyone, and how to get them to the resources that they need.
So besides, say, going to a 7-day week, what other things do you think you'd like to have that would enhance the program right now? Something that would be
So
make it
many
better.
things. I'm having a hard time deciding on which one to talk about. That's my only hesitation, is where to go with this.
Put them
One,
all.
there's so many ways I'd like to see the program improve. One thing that really I would love to do is, we at the moment don't have the capacity to do medically tailored meals. So say you've lost all your teeth and you have to have a soft diet. At the moment, we don't have capacity to promise you that I can serve you a healthy, soft diet every day. So those guests we're not able to take care of in the way that we would like to take care of them. So that would be a huge improvement for us to be able to do that. There are on some occasions where we do serve frozen meals, and that has been a big battle. And we're getting so much closer to serving nothing but fresh, hot, homemade meals, but we're not 100% there yet. I'd love to give every client, every guest, a fresh, hot, delicious, nutritious meal every day. So love to work towards those directions, but the need is just so great. So many things that some of these folks need and that we could help them with, that we would love to do.
We hear that ominous statistic all the time, the 65 folks turning 10,000 people a day turning 65. And that's just the reality. And it's going to be that for a while, and like we talked about earlier, the need is just incredible. I mean, for this and obviously other things, and I just think the demographics going to more than take over here pretty soon. But
I agree with you it's just the need is growing, and our organization, I can see the increase in demand and increase of the folks that we serve year over year, every year. It's just getting to be more and more and more. And I just want to throw a quick nod in here to the volunteers that help us accomplish this task. There are maybe 30 paid staff here and over 400 volunteers in the bin site alone.
Wow.
I mean, 400 people giving of their time in just the Bend site. So across Central Oregon, that number is even so much greater. And we really try to provide the structure and the knowledge and the training, but the volunteers that I work with, these incredible people, are the ones who are running the program, boots on the ground, making it work.
Well, it really speaks to I think the whole Council on Aging thing. What they're able to do is just remarkable, and once again so needed. And I think going forward, it's just going to get bigger and bigger, and hopefully better and better. So
yeah, I like the better and better part. We are working every day to try and improve things and improve our systems and our food and our outreach. And it's definitely getting bigger, and we're definitely working as hard as we can to make it better.
All right. Well, Cathy, I thank you so much for this. Is there a way? I mean, is it okay for people to get in touch with you if they had some questions about it or wanted to get more information about what you do?
Absolutely. You can reach out to our website, councilonaging.org. You can always call our main number as well, and they can patch you through directly to me. I'd be more than happy to answer questions that anybody has and wants to know about. Those are the two best ways to get started. And if you just want to reach out and help, the best ways you can help us are volunteering, donating. And if you can't do those, help your neighbor across the street. I am serious. The elderly person you see trying to push their garbage out every week, maybe offer to do that for them. Shovel their sidewalk for them. Even the smallest act of kindness has such huge ripples. I just highly encourage everyone to help in any way that you can, even the smallest of ways.
Well, thank you so much. That's good advice for everybody. We'll have all the information on Council on Aging and Meals on Wheels in the show notes as they come out. All right, thank you for this, and hopefully we'll see you soon. And appreciate your time, and we'll see how this goes.
Jim, thank you so much. It's been quite a pleasure chatting with you. I really appreciate you being an advocate for us. Thank you.
Thanks, Cathy. Take care. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Uncommon Knowledge for Seniors. I hope you found the information valuable and inspiring. If you have topics or circumstances you'd like us to address, please let us know. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and visit our website. We're at www.uncommonknowledgeforseniors.com for more resources and to schedule a confidential consultation. And until next time, I'm Jim Moran, reminding you to embrace your next chapter with confidence and clarity. Take care.